Hey guys, it's Doc Green, the Rose Color, coming back at you. Yeah, I got a little bit of a mess going on back there, straightening it up, buying a new mattress and everything. Anyway guys, I wanted to come on here because I haven't done a video in a little while. Last one I did was things were going kind of rough at Dart. I gotta say that I don't know what happened, but for me, things have definitely turned around. I'm averaging about 550 to 600 miles a day right now. I mean, they are wearing me down. I drive, you got 11-hour clock, and I will drive to 10 and a half of it's out, and I just have to, I have to pull over. But yeah, they are definitely running us pretty hard right now. Don't know what happened. I'm not going to save as my video, and then start getting phone calls from Dart, and they start asking me what my problem was. I explained, and then all of a sudden things start getting better. I'm not saying my video had anything to do with it or anything, but kind of the way it happened. And just like I said, if I put that video out, you watch, I'll start getting calls from Dart, and sure enough, that's what happened. But anyway, right now I'm running really well and everything. A lot of people, actually a lot of Dart drivers are running real well right now. I don't know, it should be about that time. We should have broke out of the what I call the winter months last month. May have taken an extra month or so, but I'm seeing our freight's definitely picking up. And talking to other company drivers, like Lily Transport and Prime Transport and Werner and them, they're all starting to pick up. Just to let you know, U.S. Express, I guess, is getting bought out by Knight Swift Transportation. So, yeah, hopefully that'll help U.S. Express, because anyone knows that I used to work for them, and I never talked bad about a company I worked for before, but U.S. Express sucked. So hopefully that move will make it a little bit better company to drive for. Past that, my news for today. Even though freight is moving better with Dart, and I'm making more money with Dart now, and I'm back into a rhythm, I have decided I'm down to my last 4 months of payments on this truck. So I have decided that I am going to go out on my own. I am going to start my own trucking company. I'm getting my own authority. I'm buying a trailer here in another 2 months. Decided it's time to go ahead and give it a shot and see how well I do. And I know a lot of people go, well, the freight rate's too low and everything. Guys, I've been looking at the rates, and from what I see, for the amount of money I need to make and everything, I think I'm going to be doing just fine. So don't have no ill will towards me and say how stupid I am for trying to get into the market at this time and everything. And here's my thing I've noticed. Those of us that have been doing trucking for a long time, over 10 years, we've seen ups and downs. I've been doing trucking for over 20 years now. I've seen it go up, I've seen it go down, sideways, everything else. I know how to keep running and how to make my money and everything. So I know when it's time to go park for a few months or whatever, and go home and quit whatever I'm doing and take a break or whatever. I know how to make it. This is like a lot of people say, well, this market is the downfall of trucking. You'll see all over YouTube. A lot of drivers talking about this is the downfall. Trucking sucks. No more trucking. Trucking this. Trucking that. Trucking bad. Trucking whatever. Here's the thing: as long as there's stores, as long as there's online shopping, as long as people are eating, dressing, buying stuff, you gotta have trucks. Now, are we weeding out a lot of the super truckers that thought they could do everything? Yes, a lot of them are losing their companies. You'll see a lot. South Florida just had a couple of bankruptcies. South Carolina's had some bankruptcies. There's bankruptcies of pretty decent size. I'm not going to say big companies. Small companies, 100, 150, 200 trucks, 400 trucks, 500 trucks. But they're starting to go out of business. Why? Because they came in it and started the company during the peak times. When the freights were really good a few years ago, and man, we know what we're doing, and we make millions and millions and millions and everything. We're going to survive, and no one can tell us. And we watch all these guys, and they don't know what they're talking about because we're making lots of money. And I said it back then, and I'll say it again. They had no idea what trucking was. They got in at a time when everybody could make money, but they didn't know how to save the money. They didn't learn how to do cost per mile on their trucks. They didn't know how to do. A lot of them didn't even know how to get dispatched. I see some drivers out here that were driving and stuff and deadheading 600-700 miles to take a 2,000-mile load for $4,000 or $4,500 and think they were making money. And I'm going, you're not making money. Even though I didn't have my own authority, I knew if you're deadheading that many miles for $2.50 a mile, you're not making any money. You know, you have to average about, I would say your truck has to be bringing in about $1,000 to $1,500 a day. You know, so if you're booking for loads for less than that, and actually I will say $1,500, you're not making any money. And if you're booking loads for less than $2.50 a mile, $2.50 is the minimum you can make it on. So if you're booking loads for less than $2.50 a mile, you're not going to make it. You know, and I hear a lot of guys, oh, I get paid $5 a mile, $7. Yes, that's heard of, man. I know people making $12 a mile on some loads. You know, and they're doing great. They know how to get their deadhead down, or what they don't tell you is, yeah, I made $12 a mile on this load, but they don't tell you that they deadheaded almost 600 miles to get the load. It's still worth it to them. It's still averaging over $3.75 a mile by the time all things calculated. So yes, it's worth it. So anyway, that's my plan, is to go ahead and get my authority. I already filed for it. I just filed for my DOT. Because you know, if you file for your DOT, in case you don't know, if you file for your DOT, that's automatic, boom, and it's free. DOT numbers are free. The MC numbers have a 3-week waiting period before you get a protest period, so that people can protest you getting your DOT for some reason, maybe safety or drug violations, I don't know, whatever. But they can protest it, whatever. I've never seen one get denied. Well, I did see one guy get denied, but that's because he got caught because he kept trying to get new MC numbers every time he was not paying his drivers, and he was literally stealing trucks and everything. So yeah, after a while they caught on to him when he went to file for his new one. A bunch of the drivers that used to work for him went and told on him, and yeah, he got denied. Anyway, other than that, I've never seen him get denied an MC number. But there's a lot of things that goes along with, you don't just get an MC number and boom, I'm ready. Got my insurance, got my truck, got my MC number, I'm ready to roll. No, there's a lot more to it. I did not realize all of the paperwork and everything that has to go into. You got to get something called a VOC3. You have to get the Unified Carrier Registration. If you live in certain states, you have to get their DOT numbers. Like in Texas, I have to get Texas DOT number. California, you have to get a special number. It depends if you go drive interstate or intrastate. There's different paperwork you have to do for those. You have to get the 2290 filed. You got to join a physical or drug and alcohol consortium. That's where you sign up, and they will basically guarantee, you know, they tell the government, you know, yes, we're going to put him on our random drug testing and test him randomly, and you know, you got to do that. And because you're a owner of a company and you have a CDL, you still have to do a 10-year background check, 10-year, you know, job verification. Just because you own the company doesn't mean you don't get to do that. By federal regulations, you have to do that. You have to go to a driver safety course to learn how to keep your records and everything for driver safety. There's a lot of records you have to keep. There's a lot of tax keeping things that you're going to have to do and learn, or hire an accountant to do, but you still need to know the basics, because you need to make sure your accountant isn't screwing you over. You need to learn about factoring, if you're going to factor or not. You need to learn about the fuel cards. Excuse me. You need to learn about, there's so much stuff to learn about. I'm going to do other videos about it. You know, I'm working on some back home, but right now I'm out here, and I decided it was time to do a video and let everyone know that yes, this is the move I'm making. Road Scholar Trucking is going to open up. The name of the company is Dock Ford Transport, and we're going to go along that, and I will keep y'all updated as I move forward through this. Learning a lot of things. Now, I could have hired some company to go out here and do all this paperwork for me, and some people do. They'll hire lawyers to go do the LLC and this, that. Texas has a really simple LLC. It costs about $300. That's the first thing I did. Just got online with the Secretary of State, filled out my LLC paperwork. It took me about 20 minutes. Boom, I had my LLC paperwork back from the state, and I was good to go on that. After that, I had to get an EIN number, so I had to go to the IRS site. Now, because I own other companies, when I filed for my EIN number, it took me a little bit longer to get it this time. I had to actually fax a copy, and I couldn't do it right over the internet because of several of the companies that I own. So I had to fax a copy in. They had to mail it back out to me. It took a little while. They got lost somehow, so I called them back. They finally got me my EIN number. So I got my US deal. I got my LLC. Then I got my EIN number. Then I could get my USDOT number, and then I could file for my MC number. Great, did all of that stuff. Now, I haven't been home to open a bank account yet in the LLC's name, so I still got to do that when I get back home. But then I get an email, from the state of Texas. Well, congratulations on the company. Now you need to send us some money so you can get your UCR number, Unified Carrier Registration number. So I did that. Boom, got it back like 30 minutes later. All done electronically over the website. Now I am looking out here. I got to get a BOC3. In case you don't know what that is any state that you drive in, you have to be able to legally be served papers in. So if they call up the federal government, they want to know who they can serve. You got to have a representative in each state that will receive legal paper, not just being sued or any kind of legal paperwork for you. So that you have to have a representative in each state. The BOC3 is a confirmation by a sort of like, I guess you'd say, a umbrella group that says yes, he's covered in all 48 states he's going to be driving, or 47 because I will not drive in California. But anyway, I'm covered in all my states. I've got my BOC3. As you can see, a whole lot of paperwork. This is not just a thing where you quit your company, you go file some paperwork, and as long as it's all in order, the next day or next week you're up and running. That is not the case. So it takes 3 weeks to get your MC number back. All right, you got your MC3 number, you got your insurance, you're ready to roll. No. First of all, you have to file your insurance before you get your MC, before your MC number goes active. You got 90 days. So, which is fine because I got 4 months to pay off the truck. So you don't want to be filing your insurance like the first month or the second month. You want to wait till the last week or so, because otherwise you're paying premiums for a couple of months. You're not using it, you're not making any money. And with a new company, your down payment is about $4,500, could be a little bit more, right around there. And you gave them the money, but you're not making any money. And you won't be making any money until everything else is done and complete and everything. So I'm waiting until I'm doing step by step. My insurance, my 2290, and my Kentucky permit, and my New Mexico permit and New York permit, because I'm not going to California. They keep that permit. Oregon. I might go to Oregon. I don't know. We'll see. I know I'm not going to California. So there's no permit for us driving there, but I'm not going anyway. So if they had one, I still would get it. I'm not going to California. As far as I'm concerned, it can right off in the ocean. It wouldn't bother me a second. So anyway, that's where I'm standing at, and I'm taking my time. I'm learning a lot as I'm going. I'm listening to a lot of people. I'm taking a course on how to do the dispatching course and everything. To be honest with you, from what I hear, it's really not even worth taking, but I'm just going to take it anyway just because it gives me the basics. Most people say there's a big difference between that and reality, and I believe it. I'm learning how to use the load. I've already signed up for the DAT load board. I'm using it. I'm not using it to get loads. I am looking at it, studying it, trying to figure out, exactly how it works and things like that. Things I need to know before, or get as much knowledge as I can before I start taking loads. I'm also getting a SCAC code and a UIIA code, which allow me to do intermodal work and pull things off the rail and the UP, the intermodal rails and stuff. And to be honest with you, I might just stick with that type of work because I can be home every night. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, preliminaries, this is what I'm doing. So anyway, guys, if any of you have any comments or anything below, go ahead and post them. If you got negative comments about, you're stupid for opening a trucking company in this market and everything else, here's the thing. If I can make it in this market, when it goes back up, I'm on Easy Street. And everyone keeps saying, oh, it's never going to go back up. I've heard that so many times over the last 20 years. Every time the market goes, it's the end of the world, the end of the country, end of America, this, that, that. And the truth is, we all pull back out. The economy does this. Now, I will admit, under this administration, it's doing a whole lot of this. But that means when it does go up, it's going to do a whole lot of that. So I'll be ready to ride that out when it gets here. And if I can ride through the bad, the good will be gravy. So anyway, guys, that's what I want to let y'all know. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to y'all soon.